My name is Joe and I'm from Chicago. Having traveled to over 3 dozen countries across all 7 continents, I decide to further explore my own neighborhood, so I embark on what ends up being a 9,000-mile road trip over 31 days across North America. No planning, no reservations, and no set itinerary. To make things interesting, I randomly pick challenges that I must complete along the way. Join me on this great American road trip. So Dennis has gone home.
I'm pretty tired. I think I'm gonna go home now.
It reminded me of a movie. But now I am on my own for the next few weeks. And I'm in Salt Lake City right now, and I really don't know where I'm gonna go next. What I do know, however, is that I need to pull the next challenge. You're a Chicagoan. You know good pizza. Yes, I do. Find a pizza place, and if you like the pizza, chat with a pizza maker. I know that I have to complete this challenge in Salt Lake City since it will be almost impossible outside the city limits. So it's pizza for breakfast at Johnny's Slice, where the pizza is remarkably tasty.
So we're here at Johnny's Slice. That was a good pizza. You did great. So I had the pineapple jalapeno pizza. It was amazing. What is the one thing that you think is very vital to making really good pizza?
The dough. The most important part of our dough is that it has to rise 12 hours and be balled up into balls like this and sit in here for another 12 hours.
Oh wow, it's aged.
And then we can use it. If we try to use it before that, it's an inferior product, and I'd rather just not have pizza than serve it.
Oh, that's fair. It's awesome. It's great. All right, well, thank you. I don't want to keep you from your pizza making. Right. Thank you very much. It's great pizza. Keep it up.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right.
Before I can leave Utah, though, I need to decide where to go next on this great American road trip. I determined that the answer lies at a barbershop. So I got my shave, I look good, and now I've decided that I think I'm going to go to Canada. Since it's Sunday, I quickly feed my soul and then my stomach yet again before heading on the 15-hour drive to Calgary, Alberta, Canada to meet a friend. I drive until it gets dark and find accommodations in Pocatello, Idaho. You guessed it, it's that time again. Find a location that is related to outer space in some manner. Outer space? In Idaho? As I drive north, thinking about one of the more difficult challenges, I find a site that is worth exploring.
What is this?
It's EBR-1, the world's first nuclear power plant. After reading a variety of warning signs, I decide that it is a great idea to walk in and check the place out. The control center, the fuel rods, and even the reactor. As my skin begins to glow a healthy green, I walk out of the nuclear facility to get a closer look at the experimental nuclear-powered jet engines. So, I bet you're wondering why am I looking at a map instead of my phone. Well, it makes for better TV. This looks nicer. But other than that, I did find something space-related in Idaho. I am at Craters of the Moon, so there is only one obvious next step I need to take to complete the challenge. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Challenge complete. I head back into town to rest a bit and grab a warm meal at Pickle's place before I continue north towards the border. I hit rush hour in Idaho and eventually pass up the slow traffic. After a few miles, I stop at the intersection of 2 major state highways to take in the peacefulness of the area. Quick background, I met Chase, the friend I'm visiting in Canada, a few years ago in Buenos Aires, Argentina, right before my expedition to Antarctica. He finds out that I am on a road trip and invites me up to Calgary. I still have a long way to drive, but it is time to call it a night, so I stop in Butte, Montana.
So I just left Butte, Montana.
Earlier that morning, I got an amazing breakfast at M&M Diner. Now it's time for a new challenge.
Alright, the box has spoken. Today's challenge, visit a tourist attraction that isn't well known.
I get back on the road and hustle through beautiful Montana so that I can make it to Calgary by evening.
I'm here in Montana, and I found an attraction that is not very well known to meet the challenge for today. And here it is, permanent Christmas tree. It's up 365 days a year in Montana, and it's not very well known. In fact, I believe that I am the only person that knows about this. And now you do too. So next time you're in Montana, stop by here at mile marker 6 on some highway I don't even know what I'm on.
HitchhikeWithJoeMike, merci de nous accorder cette entrevue.
Ça fait très plaisir.
Est-ce qu'on s'avance trop en disant que vous êtes vraiment...
Merci means thank you.
I finally find a radio station that I can understand.
To endanger the freedom of a democratic country. Not indeed that after every victory it is to be apprehended that the victorious generals will possess themselves.
Maybe I should just go back to this. So I'm quiet. Get my thoughts together.
I reach Calgary and head to Chase and Aaron's home. The next morning, the new challenge I pull is to find a local activity, event, or cultural immersion and join in. Chase tells me about the Calgary Stampede and how it takes over the entire city for 10 days with free food and activities beyond the main event. While he is at work during the day, I go exploring on my own. The Stampede is the perfect opportunity to fulfill my challenge over the next few days.
Hey, Chicago! Hey, Chicago! Go Cubs!
After multiple breakfasts, I decide to enter the park grounds and find that it has everything that I could ever ask for. An endless supply of food, a variety of cars and trucks, virtual reality wagon riding, an instigating piglet, high-flying heavy machinery with fire, a rodeo, and this is my first rodeo, chuck wagon racing, and an atmosphere to make new friends. But enough of all that. Chase meets me up at the Stampede after work, and it's time to get down to business. The challenge.
Alright, so we're in Calgary at the Stampede. So Kristen, tell me, what's your favorite part of the Stampede?
Well, rodeo and amazing concerts. What it's all about.
What are your favorite parts about Stampede?
My favorite part is live music. I love country music and I love partying, and it's honestly just the best. Everyone's in the best mood. The city is just the biggest party. Everyone loves it. It brings people together. What more do you want? Honestly, I love it.
Who's your favorite band?
Actually playing right now, I love Hunter Hayes. Chicago has great music too.
We do. We got some news.
Yeah.
So if you had to describe Stampede in one word, what would it be?
Rowdy.
What's the city about Stampede?
What happens here stays here. It's like Vegas, but Calgary style.
So what's the craziest thing you've seen at Stampede?
Oh God, I can't even say it. I'm not even
It's that bad.
The next day, Chase, Aaron, and I walk around Calgary.
All right, Aaron and Chase. So we're here at the Peace Bridge, and one of my challenges here in Calgary is to do something local, and understand the culture, and get immersed. So my question to you, what is the proper usage of the word "a"?
I don't know if I use a. I use hey.
I use a quite a bit. It's kind of like a punctuation asking at the end of a sentence.
Like you agree, right?
You're leading to
yeah,
a yes.
Yeah, leading to a yes. It's between like a question mark and an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a good question, eh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now I've just made myself a liar.
Over the next couple of days, I continue going to various events at the park grounds. Tomorrow is my last full day in Calgary, and I will spend it with another friend who I met while traveling years earlier.
All right, so Jocelyn, we are at Cora.
Yep.
That's right. All right, so we're in Calgary. So how did we meet? Let's start with that story.
Puerto Vallarta, 8 years ago, I believe, at a zip line, and you were staying at a hostel.
Yes. That's right. Now I'm curious about the word "a."
A?
Yes.
It's not A, it's hey.
Okay.
A? Like, hey, what?
It's just
No?
something we say. And
Yeah,
you never
it's
even
like,
know.
I don't
even think we would notice that we're saying it.
Yeah.
One time. Hey?
What did you say, Nikki? Why did
I
you
don't know,
say
don't
it?
put me on the spot.
Yeah, you had a really good way of saying it. It's because of our politeness, you said, right? That we just want to make sure.
That everything's okay.
Yeah, what the other person thinks, right?
I really think that's actually a good way of looking at it.
That is a great way of looking at it. We then head over to the park.
Challenge number 1. What are you having, Joe?
So this is a deep fried cookie dough.
How is it, eh? What's the verdict?
Yeah, it's good.
After 4 full days of immersing myself in the Calgary Stampede scene and understanding the reasoning behind the Canadian A, there is only one thing left before this challenge can be completed: having poutine. With my cowboy hat packed away, I leave Calgary behind in awe of the Calgary Stampede tradition and appreciative of Chase and Aaron's hospitality. I stayed with them 5 nights, and Aaron even surprised me by packing snacks for my drive. I keep referencing the neighborhood concept as I meet more of my neighbors on this journey. In Calgary, I connected with friends who I had met while traveling around the world and made new ones. These experiences of kindness and camaraderie have the power to shape lives. They have shaped mine through the years. This is why I enjoy travel and exploration so much. This is why I do it. As I continue through British Columbia on my way to Seattle and the west coast of the United States, the drive starts to become serious.
Together what resources they can to help evacuees who show up.
I am noticing the effects of the wildfire. It's getting darker, smoggier, and
the sky is becoming consumed by smoke. I was aware of the wildfires while in Calgary and had chosen my route accordingly to attempt to go around them. It's my first time experiencing wildfires on such a massive scale like this.
I just passed the Kicking Horse River, which is a river I did whitewater rafting on a couple years ago. It was pretty fun. It was beautiful, amazing area. It smelled like pine trees, and just amazing. Problem is now you can't see anything because of all the smoke from the wildfires, and you can't smell anything because it smells like one big giant campfire.
If the wildfire isn't enough, it starts to rain and the winds pick up, downing trees and causing multi-car accidents along the way. Fortunately, the route I chose proves to be a good one, as I do not need to detour from the planned path due to the fires. It's late in the evening when I finally reach Kelowna and check into my hostel. The next morning, I remove the sheets from my bed and pack. I head downstairs to the kitchen and make breakfast, and then spend time documenting my travels before I head to Washington State. I am still hungry and craving Japanese food, so I stop for another meal. So I just had a ton of sushi for 15 Canadian dollars. It's pretty amazing, spicy, and wait a minute, they're supposed to have miso soup with that. I never got my miso soup. Get my miso soup.
Japanese food, take 2.
Alright, so I got my miso soup. It's good, because I was craving it.
Now I'm ready to cross the border.
I enter the United States and decide, for once, not to drive well into the night and instead check into lodging in Bellingham while there is still daylight to enjoy. I find a restaurant for dinner and strike up a conversation with the man and his son. Then it's time to rest. Tomorrow will be day 1 of the Pacific Coast Highway journey.